We begin tonight with some breaking news, and it comes to us out of Wadena, Minnesota. A little over an hour ago, police there took into custody an escaped inmate.
34-year-old Ryan Paul Petro escaped custody yesterday afternoon while he was in transition to a court appearance. Valley News Team's Bailey Hurley has been on the scene for us all day regarding the arrest. Bailey, what did you see?
All right, we're having some technical difficulties out of Wadena. We hope to go to Bailey Hurley in just a few moments. On to the weather now. We're not a lot happening in the weather, which is good for farmers needing to get their crops harvested.
Let's find out from Nathan what our Tuesday night is looking like. He's here now with your No Wait weather planner. Nathan?
Yeah, and the planner for this evening basically is keep the coat on hand as the wind and those cold temperatures that we experienced for most of the day will stick around for the rest of the night tonight. Look at these wind speeds right now. We have sustained winds between 10 and 15 miles per hour for pretty much most of us across the valley, gusting to 25 in Fargo and Grand Forks, gusting to 32 miles per hour there in the Devil's Lake Basin. Of course, when you couple these cooler temperatures and those wind gusts, here's the wind chills. 5-degree wind chill right now in Devil's Lake, a 16-degree wind chill for our folks in Fargo, and then a 14-degree wind chill in Grand Forks. A bit warmer there in Wadena, where we have a 21-degree wind chill. And if we look off toward Casper, Wyoming, which I've been watching them all day, a negative 8-degree wind chill there, so definitely some winter-like air is upon us. And with temperatures being solidly in the 20s, you see some blue specks on the map there. That's snowfall, so I expect some light snow showers up and down the I-29 corridor, mainly north of I-94. South of 94, you see even some clearing sky there in our South Dakota neighborhoods, and temperatures again in the 20s for us. So anything that does look to fall from those clouds will look to fall as snow showers. Now, Mike and Andrea, I'm tracking some cold nights ahead, but also some slightly warmer air on the horizon. I'll break down what we can expect for the rest of this week coming up here in just a couple minutes.
Warm air sounds good.
It does.
Thank you, Nathan.
Yep.
We want to go back to our lead story now, which is breaking news out of Wadena, Minnesota. 34-year-old Ryan Paul Petro, who escaped custody yesterday, is back in custody. He was arrested about an hour ago.
All right, Valley News Team's Bailey Hurley joins us live now from the scene where she's been all day where the arrest took place. Bailey, what did you see?
Mike, Andrew, if you take a look behind me, you can see a cornfield right over my shoulder in the background. That's where Wadena County officials were all afternoon and most of yesterday as well with their drones, with the canines. They were searching for that escaped inmate all day yesterday, part of today as well. That's when I caught up with them earlier this evening, and everybody was out here, and then all of a sudden everybody started running. They started running to their cars. They started running across this parking lot that you see right here. And I got in my car, I followed them, and they ended up right here in this vacant parking lot right here. That's where they found Ryan Petro, the escaped inmate who got away from police custody yesterday afternoon. They arrested him right here right in this vacant parking lot. I'm right behind the Burger King in Wadena and just a few blocks away from the Walmart in Wadena. They arrested him, they put him in an ambulance, and he has been taken to a local hospital where he will be treated for any injuries or any sort of hypothermia that he had while he was out here in the very cold night last night. We will keep you updated with any more details as we get them. For now, reporting live in Wadena County, Bailey Hurley, Valley News Live.
Thanks so much, Bailey Hurley, reporting live. We'll also keep you updated on valleynewslive.com.
A Moorhead man will spend more than 400 days in jail after being convicted of stabbing and slashing another man with a fillet knife back in July. Court records show Rene Alvarado has been convicted of felony third-degree assault and sentenced to 18 months in jail with credit for the time he's already served. The incident happened at the Prairie View mobile home park in Glendon. After the attack, officials say Alvarado's victim went through surgery and was expected to recover.
Moorhead police are still trying to find a stolen car that backed into a squad car while getting away. It happened last Thursday near the public library. After the car took off, Moorhead police followed a short while, then called off the pursuit because the speeds were getting too high. They're looking for the 2011 orange Dodge Avenger with Minnesota plates CEP 627. More than 300 people have died on Minnesota roads so far this year. State numbers say of those deaths, 43 were motorcyclists, 34 were pedestrians, which are both up from last year. The number of bicyclists that died on Minnesota roads is also up. Alcohol, distraction, speed, and no seatbelts are some of the main factors.
Stutsman County and its townships have until the end of next week to assess their waterlogged roads. The county commission recently declared a disaster for the area after roadways suffered from heavy rain and flooding. Damage assessments for those roads need to be done by November 8th. They're needed for a presidential disaster declaration and the FEMA financial assistance that goes with it.
At the end of the year, Fargo Public Schools often have over 1,000 students with overdue lunch balances. It can add up to more than $20,000 placed on the families and school district. One local group is hoping to change that. It's a partnership between the Women's Leadership Program and the Fargo Public Schools Development Foundation. Organizers say kids who aren't hungry don't learn as well as their peers. So making sure that they have access to food is a top priority. And they also don't want local families to suffer with debt.
We started a social media campaign that basically asks our community to skip going out for lunch for one day. And instead of spending that $5 on lunch, donate it to the Fargo Schools Foundation. And it's going to go to that critical needs program of that lunch fund.
To pay down all Fargo Public Schools lunch debt through the social media challenge.
The Bank of North Dakota is doing something a bit differently during College Application Month. North Dakota was the final state to join the College Application Month initiative in 2014. By the end of the month, 154 high schools will have hosted a program that helps students fill out college applications. The Bank of North Dakota expects that more than 6,500 students will take part and submit applications throughout the month. Not only do students get advice for secondary education programs, but also plans for military or trade schools.
This program is very holistic to making a plan after high school no matter what. Even though it's called College Application Month, it's anything after high school.
The bank also helps to bring in volunteers who will sit down with students to complete the applications during the school day.
Investigators in Polk County are looking to bring back a canine program. Sheriff Jim Tadman says that the program is invaluable because it improves officer safety. This dog will also help with drug searches and tracking. The sheriff says his office will pay for the program using federal and state grants along with private donations.
It's in our best interest to keep these folks in business for the next generation.
Farmers are pressuring Minnesota's governor to issue a disaster declaration, one telling Tim Walz that it will be game over for his crops if the cold holds out for the next few days.
Valley News Team's Joshua Pagero was in East Grand Forks, where farmers shared their struggles in hopes of getting something done.
Casey Folson's a fifth-generation potato farmer.
The Red River Valley is the #1 supplier of red potatoes for the United States.
His family began with a small North Dakota farm, but has since expanded to hundreds of acres in East Grand Forks.
Go all over the United States, to all the lower 48, to retailers and food service distributors.
Walking through his fields, he was disappointed at the poor crop caused by Mother Nature.
That ground is so hard, you can't even break that open.
Number of trucks picking up potatoes is down this year compared to last year, and it's not only having an impact on farmers, but also businesses connected to the ag industry.
We've only harvested 40% of our acres. We still have 60% in the ground, and with the temperatures getting colder, it's looking more and more like they're not going to get harvested.
That same sentiment was shared with Governor Tim Walz and Ag Commissioner Tom Peterson.
This perfect storm of trade deals and weather and just not getting it right for you, we can fix some of that.
Farmers say a disaster declaration needs to be issued, similar to what was done in North Dakota. However, unlike North Dakota, the amount of damage to date hasn't reached the necessary threshold for such a declaration in Minnesota.
This is incredibly stressful work. It's incredibly stressful when your family's on the line. We know that, and I think this is where communities come together.
Farmers say they're more worried about the younger generation. Folson says it has been a tough year, but his family sees it as an anomaly, hoping another year like this one doesn't rear its ugly head. In East Grand Forks, Joshua Pagero, Valley News Live.
Governor Tim Walz told farmers he would explore getting a secretarial declaration, which would come from the USDA and help farmers with loans.
Later on Valley News Live at 6, news that can help you and your kids stay warm Thursday during Halloween.
evening planner looks chilly to say the least, with temperatures falling into the mid-20s by midnight, with clearing skies in Fargo, but those clouds look to hang on a bit longer. Up in Grand Forks, still expecting middle 20s and west winds around 10 miles per hour. Now, we'll talk about that cold few nights ahead, but also some warmer air coming up in a couple minutes.